This is March. Good evening, guys. I'm Tommy Shaffer, veteran sports writer for CBS. Today I'm going to be talking about the argument between the NCAA and the NBA, and I'm going to be arguing that the NCAA is better because it is more competitive. I'm going to be arguing this through three main points. One is the fact that the NCAA is more entertaining. Two is the fact that the team odds are much slimmer to win in college than in the NBA. And three, I'm going to be conceding to an argument made in favor of the NBA, but I'm going to be arguing against it. So let's get into it. The first main point is the NCAA is more entertaining and competitive. So basically, players in college are faced with two decisions, basically. One is they're going to try hard because their last time playing the sport, and there's no reason to not try hard. And then two is the fact that if they're trying to go professional, they have every reason to try hard. And players that aren't trying hard, you have no reason to be on the team, and you don't have to be. So that's kind of the main argument there. Whereas in the NBA, players initially, we often see it, will try hard to get that first contract, and then once they get that big money, they tend to stop trying hard. And it's something we see so often, and you don't see it in college because players aren't playing for money, which is an argument that a lot of people are trying to make right now, but it makes it much more entertaining because they're not trying to play for money. The second point is the fact that, the third point is the fact March Madness. So March Madness in college is the end of the year tournament where teams are trying to compete to win a championship, and there are 64 teams that participate in it, and lower seeds are matched with higher seeded teams, and that makes it much more in their one game series, which makes it much more entertaining because lower seeded teams they beat higher seeded teams in the tournament because there are so many matchups, and you don't see that in the NBA because there are 16 teams that participate in it, and there are 4 to 7 game series, so often everyone sees the better team often winning. And the last part is the student section in college. You just simply don't get that in the NBA because these are fellow students who may be friends with kids on the team, and they'll be much more invested in the game because their friends are playing on the court, and you feel like a part of it. Whereas in the NBA, you may live in the same city, but it's just not the same. The next part I'm going to be arguing about is the slim odds of winning in college. So there are 351 collegiate teams, according to NCSAsports.org, versus the 30 that are in the NBA. So just based on that number, the odds of winning in college are much slimmer, and that's exactly what happens because sometimes you'll get an underdog going to the top, and it's so entertaining for everyone to watch. Whereas in the NBA, we saw like the Golden State Warriors a couple years ago, and they made it to the finals 4 straight years, and that was just not as entertaining because you kind of knew who was going to win every year. And in college, it's much better because everyone loves an underdog, and that's exactly what you get. And often, the last part I'll be talking about is an often argument about the NBA is that it's better and more entertaining because more points are scored. And sure, that's fair. According to USA Today, 112.4 points are scored in an average NBA game, whereas in college you have 67.9 points per game scored. And that's fair. I get the argument, but the NBA, you're getting more points because players are, first off, they're more talented and they're running on the court and they're throwing up shots within the first couple seconds. And that's another point is that the shot clock in college is 30 seconds versus 24 in the NBA. And a 30-second shot clock means teams are going to hold on to the ball longer during possessions, and they're not going to force any shots, and they're going to get the best shot possible. Whereas in the NBA, like I said, players are running down the court in the first 5 seconds, and they're throwing up the first shot they can find. It's not fair, and it's not as fun to watch. And the last point is that, in what I've seen, defenses in college they try much harder, and they make it harder for teams to just score at will. And yeah, so those are the 3 main points. In conclusion, college sports are more entertaining. College basketball is more entertaining because the players are more competitive. And that is seen through the entertainment aspect. It's seen in the odds of the teams winning aspect. And lastly, it's sure, like more points are scored in the NBA game, but in college, it's not real basketball. In college, you get real basketball. And I hope after this, you guys will be more inclined to watch NCAA basketball game rather than an NBA game when sports return in the fall. And after investing a season in rooting for Marquette. You're going to be excited when they hoist the championship in March. So thank you guys.